Welcome to Knife Thoughts. This EDC, or everything that doesn't cut video, as you can probably tell, is going to be an unboxing. And if you're not familiar with this company, Honey Badger Arsenal, you might assume from the name and from my channel name that it will be a knife. But it's actually going to be a bolt action pen. And so notebooks, using notebooks, carrying notebooks is something that I have enjoyed for a long time. Really honestly, since before I was even into EDC or even really knives, because I would carry and use notebooks in high school and college and things like that. And so recently I have gotten back into carrying a notebook every day and have been getting into nicer pens. Now I've had Fisher Space pens for a long time, and things like that, just your typical pens and kind of the entry-level EDC pens. But recently I wanted to get a bolt action pen, and specifically an American-made bolt action pen. So I have been carrying and using and checking out some pens from Tactile Turn, and I really like these. So this is the bronze short version in the standard thickness, and this is probably the one that I've been carrying and using the most, but I have a full review and article to come soon on these. But in the meantime, I found out about Honey Badger Arsenal, and that they make an aluminum EDC bolt action pen. Now they also have a titanium version. This V4 is going to come out in a titanium version also. But I wanted to check out the aluminum just to see how I like that material. I have pens from Tactile Turn in titanium, bronze, and copper, and I wanted to compare to aluminum. Now there are other companies that make USA-made aluminum bolt action pens, but this Honey Badger Arsenal really looked interesting to me, and so I reached out, and they wanted to send one here. We're willing to send one for me to check out, and so I wanted to do an unboxing. Now this box is relatively big, so we'll see how this goes, but I do believe that these come in, really trying not to hit the tripod here, come in, yes, here is the actual box. So I'm gonna get the cardboard box out of the way without hitting the tripod, hopefully. I think I succeeded. And here is the box. So you can see it's packed nicely. You've got a really interesting 3D printed box. So you can tell from, the lines and such that this is a 3D printed box. So that's kind of a cool touch. It's different than, a lot of other boxes you'll get. It's, got some hang-offs here and such, but very cool. And hopefully I'm not going to struggle to open this. Okay, it's a slider. So it's a sliding box, and here is the pen. So there are a couple different configurations that you can get for this pen, and this is like the Tactile Turn that I just showed you, is about a 5-inch model. There's a longer version that takes Pilot G2 refills, which a lot of people really love, and then there's this, which takes Parker refills, and there's even a smaller version, or no, there's another large version that takes a different refill. But this 5-inch is a size that I think I prefer so far. And there's also different finishes. So this is a bead blasted aluminum. There's also a polished aluminum, which is really interesting looking. And then there's also different options for the internal, what the metal that the internals are made of, and different options for the shape of the bolt action actuator here. So then there's also, finally, there's a lot of options that you have. Finally, there is different options for the grip. They have like a hex shaped grip, kind of like the box. But then they also have this ring grip, and these are really deep. That's one thing I did not realize from the pictures. Those are definitely very deeply machined in there, so that's interesting. It's super lightweight. Like Tactile Turn also, does titanium, and this is bronze, so bronze is heavier, but you can really easily feel the difference in weight between the bronze and the aluminum. I just don't have my titanium Tactile Turn in my pocket right now. You can see it's a similar clip, actually, quite similar clip. And actually, the Honey Badger Arsenal is a little shorter. So I believe the tactile turn is like 5.1 inches or something like that, and the Honey Badger is 5 inches. So it's like a very small difference, but you can see the difference. Like if I stand them up, you can definitely see the difference there. So let's see how the action is. Very nice. I would say it's a relatively light feeling spring. So you can see it sticks out there. I know one thing that big, pen aficionados like to check for is like wiggle. That's not something I'm super familiar with, but so I don't feel any wiggle there. And then another thing that I noticed right away that's a difference is that the clip and the bolt action are oriented differently. So whereas on the tactile turn you pull to the right, like so, to lock it open. It's the opposite here for the Honey Badger Arsenal. I don't think that this is like a left-handed version. I think that they maybe do make a left-handed version. So I'll have to ask John about that, who makes these. But I don't believe this is the left-handed version. You can see that the actual shape is also pretty different. So this is just an unboxing. Like I can't tell you about how it wears and how it writes and things like that too much here, but it's interesting to see the differences between this and what I have become used to, which is the tactile turn. Right away it feels good. I like the width. It feels a little bit thinner, and I think it probably is. So I like the width here. It's kind of somewhere maybe between the thin tactile turn and the slim tactile turn and the standard. Feels good in the hand, just super lightweight. Slight little kind of gap there that you might not see on a tactile turn, but the clip feels nice and solid, so I do like that. You can twist it apart here. You can see it's got a nice meeting point. Open it up once here just for good measure. And there is that Parker style refill. This is a Schmidt 9000. Yeah, Schmidt 9000 Easy Flow. So the separation is in a different spot than on tactile turn. But you've got that, and can screw it back together. See how it goes together here. Nicely, I would say, there's definitely, it doesn't meet in the same way that the tactile turns do. And I think that's probably partly due to the finish also, but a little bit of a different thing. Now, you can see one nice thing, there's a microfiber cloth. I don't know how much I'm going to use that, but you use it to like clean off the internals and such. But there is an Allen wrench, and to be completely honest, I'm not 100% sure what that's used for. I'm guessing it's used to take this top part off, maybe, or maybe on the internals. I'm not 100% sure, but I'll ask about that. There are some extra O-rings. I like that. O-rings are always a little bit of a hassle in my opinion, so I like that. And then this, I'm guessing that is a converter for different refills, but I am not 100% sure on that either. I should know. I believe that it said that it came with a converter, so I'll have to check on that. But I am going to put this right to use, put it right into the EDC pouch that I've been using as a wallet and start using it. And I am feeling good about it right off the bat. It's very, very lightweight. There's maybe a little bit of rattle in there, but that's no huge deal for me. I think I like the action. It's pretty straightforward. It's like easy to use. It is lighter, like I said. Just a little bit of a different, I think, construction overall. But very nice. Really looking forward to putting it to use. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, click the bell, and select all so you know when I post the full review of this, as well as I will have some more pen reviews coming up. Make sure you go to my website, knifethoughts.com, where I post articles on knives and EDC tools like this. And again, I will have some articles on pens. I actually did an article on a pen recently also. So make sure you go there and subscribe to the email newsletter there. And I want to say thank you to John at Honey Badger Arsenal for sending this for me to check out. I really appreciate it. I love getting to check out USA made things. That is one of the things that drew me to this, is that it is made in the USA in his shop in Las Vegas, I believe. So, you know, if you want to have a nice USA made pen for a relatively low price compared to the competition, this configuration, I believe, is about $60. So, you know, you can get yourself a USA made by one person, basically, in my understanding, or at least, you know, made 100% in the USA in a small shop. Very nice bolt action pen for less than some other brands, and honestly the same price as a lot of overseas made bolt action pens. So thank you again to Honey Badger Arsenal, and last but not least, as always, don't forget to go out and do good.